Alright guys, thanks for coming in. I'll take your clubs, pop them away over this side just so that they're out of reach of the simulator. The reason for that is we don't want you going for your clubs while someone's hitting. It's one person at a time up here on the sim, and I'll show you why when the software fires up. Basically, you'll be hitting from this area, and when somebody's swinging back, this area needs to be clear. So if you stay back on your seats there with your food and drink, or near the clubs, you're going to be totally fine. You just swap over as you come through. You would have noticed the ball tees up by itself, so just hit this yellow button. It's going to tee it up nice and high. Change the tee height with the green arrows, up or down, and then left and right will move you in case you've got trees or rocks in your way. You can either hit off the tee, change the tee height if you wanted to, whatever you feel comfortable with, or knock the ball back and just hit from the middle of the mat here so that the simulator can read your shots. If you hit from too far left or right, it might not read. So right in the middle is ideal. But for now, if you just want to have a hit from here, again, make sure no one's in this area, middle of the mat, have a shot. For chipping, we're going to use the yellow button. Let's say you missed the green to the left-hand side. We want to hit most of our shots from here. It's going to tell you some information around the shot. So what I want to try and show you today is how the simulator will give you an idea of distance, how hard to hit it, and whether you're in trouble like sand or rough, what you'll have to do to get out of it. Over on the right, it gives you a little mini map of the green that has a colour chart, pink and red being high, blue or black being low, and it says distance 27 metres, so that's from you to the hole. It's suggesting SW as a club, so that's like your caddy trying to tell you what to do. I'm going to go for a pitching wedge because it's very similar, and I'm going to try and hit this shot 25 metres, but maybe only 10 or 15 in the air. So just into the bottom of the screen with the chip. It's landed about 10 and it's run about another 10 metres. The important thing with chipping is still hitting from the same spot. Don't be afraid to hit the mat with the club. Obviously swinging through and hitting underneath the ball is great. And try and throw the ball into the screen if you've got 10, 15 or 20 metres. And just be aware if you're in a bunker you'll need to hit it harder. This section here says rough, speed and spin 90% because we're in the rough. That's in a bunker. That will say bunker, speed and spin 50%. That would mean if you've got a 20 metre shot, you need to hit it 40 metres to get it up into the hole. When you're putting, we actually put the ball onto the small putting tee to the left or the right over here for left-handers. And basically what's happening is we're going to try and putt it metre for metre what it's telling us on the screen. So these grid lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are telling me it's 5 metres to the hole. It also says it up here, 5.39. Uphill 9 centimetres. So the white dots that are moving are saying slightly left to right, like water running across. So I'm going to aim left, try and roll it about 4 or 5 metres out to the left side. Gives you an idea. What you want to get used to is that a 2 or 3 metre putt only needs to be hit here. 5 or 10 metre putt needs to effectively go past the screen. Just be aware that your caddy's trying to tell you if it's uphill or downhill too. That's uphill 9 centimetres, which means I have to hit it a bit harder than I think. Alright, so I've loaded you up on Bethpage Black. We've gone for white tees at Bethpage is a hard course.
Okay guys, now we're going to take a second to show you how to set up your game. This should be the screen you see when you walk into the simulator. Now we'll go to the computer over here, and this is where we select all our options. Now from this screen here, we'll be either selecting play game or training. In training, you've got the option of driving range if you just want to whack a few balls, and also course, which allows you to put the ball in a specific position and either practice your putting, your chipping, working out of the rough, things like that. The other option is the play game option. Now in here we have a couple of different options. The first is stroke, which is just your traditional round of golf, which will probably be used most often. The second most common one that you'll use will be the par 3 game. This is pitch and putt for those of you that are familiar, but also there's the option of a kids course in there, which is quite fun, a bit of a novelty as well. You've also got a couple of other options here which probably aren't going to be used as often, but they are there if they tickle your fancy. So I'll show you how to set up one of the games in stroke here. You'll click on stroke, and now the first thing you'll do is add how many players you want to play. Let's say we've got 2 people. I'll select player 1, I'll click over here, and I'll enter that person's name. So we'll say Big 4 is the person that's first playing. Click over here, and you enter that person's name. So we'll say Big 4 is the first person. We now select if they are right-handed or left-handed, what tee they'd like to hit off, their gender, and the difficulty. You'll see it set to professional. Now professional is meter to meter accurate and will give you the most realistic experience. And then from there, as you go down, things become a little more friendly in terms of the simulator and its read of your strike of the ball. You'll do that for every player that's playing in your round. Change the name, pick the settings, and then we'll go next, which brings us to picking our course. You've got a number of courses here to choose from. The blue and white circles here represent the difficulty of both the field and the green. So you'll be able to choose what suits you best. There's a number of popular courses here. So let's just say we'll pick one of these courses and we'll go next. And everything on this next screen here, guys, is pretty much already set up for you, so you're not going to need to change any of these settings, and you'll just hit next and your game will begin.
What we're going to do is have a look up on the left hand side. It says Pete, 384 metres. That means it's Pete's go, and that's how far it is to the hole. Over on the right, my caddy is aiming down the middle of the map, 230 metres downhill 14. So he's saying hit it about 215 down the middle and everything will be fine, which is great. And the caddy's also recommending a 1 wood. Everyone's nice and safe back there away from you, and you can start playing your game. Have your shot, and it'll go through player by player. Once you've all hit, the furthest from the hole will be next to play. So if you hit a bad shot, you're going to be up next more than likely. Have a great time, and just remember to have a look down the bottom and see team ground 100%. If your lie changes, it might ask you to hit it harder or softer.
Okay guys, and just showing you how to get into training mode now. You'll either pick one of the two, driving range or course. Driving range, everything's the same here. Select next, and just next again. And by hitting this next button, it'll take you just to a regular driving range where you can have a whack of a few balls. Other than that, the option for training is course. Again, this is all the same, selecting your player and settings. You'll pick your course, we'll go next, next again, and we'll show you how to position the ball where you'd like it once this one loads. And very simple on this one, guys. Just down the bottom right hand corner here, we've got ball position. We'll click that button. That'll bring up a map of the course and the hole we're playing. So we can select whereabouts on the map we want to hit from, whether it be in the rough, in the bunker, on the green, if we want to practice a certain shot, and then we just click OK, and that will load us up where we're going to hit from. Now the other option we spoke about was the pitch and putt. You click on par 3 game here, everything's the same, add the number of players and select their options. You'll now go into your par 3 courses, and if you have a look down the very bottom, there are these two down the bottom. And these are novelty courses which are great for kids and a bit of fun for adults as well. Again, we just click next on that final screen, and there you go. Bit more of a fun course for kids there. Again, it's still a par 3 course, just with a bit more novelty involved. And that's pretty much it, guys. Enjoy your game.